Thank you for joining us for our final episode of the year, a special look back at the top stories of the 2015-2016 school year as chosen by the QU All Access team. We hope you enjoy. To start off, we'll revisit a popular college holiday and one of my personal favorite spots from the school year. A debate here on QU TV about decent costume ideas led to a story on finding out what students had planned for Halloween.
For this Halloween, I plan to go on as a zombie because the band is doing their zombie show for Halloween during the football game. So since I'll already be dressed up for the football game, I'm going to go as a zombie.
For Halloween this year, I'm going to be dressing up as the Phantom of the Opera because with the marching band performance at the football game on Halloween, our theme is just a whole bunch of trick-or-treaters coming together to play in a band. And since it's my last football game also, I wanted to go with something a little more hardcore, to use better terminology. So I chose that out of my box of old costumes. Thankfully it fit.
Hi, my name is Duran Descartes, and for Halloween I'll be dressing as a zombie for the haunted house that'll be taking place at North Campus.
I'm going as a hippie for Halloween just because I love the 70s. I feel like I was born in the wrong era.
I'm going as Harley Quinn for Halloween this year because a lot of my friends group are going as DC villains, and we're going to be this really big squad on campus, and it should be lots of fun.
I'm dressing up like Poison Ivy for Halloween because she's my favorite Batman villain.
The story is known as A Man on the Street and is meant to take the pulse of the community, or in this case, campus. I enjoyed this story because it's a little bit lighter story than we're used to. You're always used to hearing on news shows about how everything's so negative. So I thought that this was a great opportunity for students to just kind of see the lighter side of the news. And up next, we have a story that is still developing. Universities across Illinois have been dealing with the budget crisis since the beginning of the school year. The monetary award program was threatened, and students were left wondering and waiting for what is to come. Sarah Valkamp now joins me to talk about the recent developments of the MAP grant and why this story has been so important to her. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us.
This story has been so important to me because I have been with QUTV since the beginning of this story. So we started out with the MAP grants not being given to students at all, and we didn't know what was going to happen. Well, recently they announced that the fall 2015 MAP grants are going to be given to students. And one thing important that I don't know if students know is that if you took out loans to pay for that MAP grant, you need to go to the financial office and tell them that you no longer want that loan. Otherwise, they're going to keep that loan on your account, and you'll have trouble in the future, and they'll just have to refund you with the MAP grant. This was really important to me, too, because I got to meet Governor Rauner in person, and I was at the press conference that he was at. And it was just really cool to be able to meet both the former and current governors of Illinois at my time during QUTV, because I've been here for 3 years. So I really enjoyed everything that I got to experience. And then for everybody who wants to experience this type of thing where you can meet people like this, I would just get involved and stay involved with as much as you can.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah, and we also thank you for all the time that you put in here at QUTV and all that you've done here for us. So thank you so much. As future journalists, we're taught how to use technology at our disposal whenever possible. Our next story is an example of a student doing just that. This semester, a student used his cell phone to capture a video of a mouse in the cafeteria.
With a video circling around on Snapchat about a mouse being found in the main dining hall, QU All Access took a dive in to see what was really happening. As you can see from the video, there was a mouse found over in the breakfast bar area of the main dining hall. QU All Access wanted to sit down and talk to a student and get their opinion on the situation.
I didn't see it in person. I saw it on one of my friend's Snapchat stories, but I know a lot of people were really shocked by it, and a lot of people have been avoiding the breakfast area and definitely the cereals and breads in that area since they saw it. It's not like we really have much of an option. We have to eat here. There's the UC, but other than that, the UC's closed, so we have to come here for dinner at least.
Because of the situation, students have shown emotion towards the main dining hall. Follow QU Media for updated information regarding the situation. For QU All Access, I'm Derek Lambert.
Joining me now is my fellow anchor, Derek Lambert. Derek, tell us why you chose this story.
So I chose the story just because it kind of gave QUTV an option to show what students, they saw something wrong on campus, they reported it to people, and so I kind of thought it gave us an opportunity to show and shed a light in an area that it maybe wouldn't have been shown if we wouldn't have done a story on it. So I thought it was good for us to be able to shine a light in a dark place.
Do you think it also shows how much social media and even how much cell phones now have changed how the media has kind of shaped? Do you think that's something new?
I think that's definitely true, and I think the way media and news as a whole is going to be provided to consumers is going to be a lot more social media based, just because, as you saw in that story, it was a lot, the story was captured on Snapchat.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone has social media now, so
Exactly.
it really kind of changes like how we can see our news. And most people are used to seeing it on TV, but now it's on Snapchat, it's on Instagram, it's on Facebook, it's on Twitter. So that's just something that I thought was very interesting as well.
Exactly. I think it's going to change the game up a little bit.
Absolutely. Crime is not something that you're used to seeing in a small town like Quincy. That wasn't the case this past year as a spike in crime, including several shootings, surprised the community and left many students concerned. QU All Access videographer Dan Burke covered the crime beat this semester, and he was busy.
Students on campus have heard about the recent shootings on and around campus in the last several months. Crime rates in Quincy have greatly risen, and the residents of Quincy have definitely taken notice. One of these recent shootings took place just across the street from Pepsi Arena on 18th and Oak. Another has made national media attention when a man who was struck by a bullet was able to give an interview just after the incident occurred. Being a small campus in a small town, this may frighten some students. According to Police Chief Rob Copley, these type of violent crimes are not random and are often due to the drug business, and they also involve either the use of drugs or alcohol. We sat down with Chief Copley to discuss these recent shootings.
Chief Copley, one of the questions that we like to ask you is there's been an influx in shootings. Why do you believe that there's been an influx? Why do you think that there's been this influx in shootings in the last few months?
Well, personally, I think it's a cultural and a generational change that we're seeing across our country. In a simplified explanation, people don't fight like they used to. They quickly go to weapons and the weapon of choice of firearms. In situations that we see where normally, somebody would get into a shoving match and then maybe go to blows, they're too quick to reach in their pocket or in their waistband and pull the firearm because, one, they're available and accessible, and two, I think it's the culture, and there needs to be some sort of cultural change across the country in all communities, and Quincy is one of them.
Dan joins us now. Dan, why did you select this story?
I just thought it was a little bit concerning to see all the shootings happening in Quincy. Like, Quincy's not that big of a town compared to Chicago or St. Louis, and just to have them so consecutive after one another, and campus being not too far away, is just a little bit concerning to me.
Yeah, there was one shooting that was literally right across the street from Pepsi Arena. So as a student, did you feel a little bit concerned about these shootings?
I mean, yes, as a student, I did feel concerned because, it is right across, the campus. I think that it was pretty scary, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's such a small campus, it's such a small town, you really don't hear about that.
Right.
And coming up, we'll review a story that we featured on a volleyball player and his journey through life in college. Stay with us.
It isn't a building. It isn't an arena or field. It isn't a classroom. It's a friendship. It's the bonds you form. It's an opportunity. It's the experience. It's a cute thing. Schedule your visit today.
QUTV is more than a news outlet.
1 in 5 undergrads work at least 35 hours a week, year-round.
Students involved with QUTV learn life lessons, create lasting memories, and gain the experience needed to succeed in future careers.
Students need to be involved with QUTV as a viewer or as a participant because we need to know what's going on around our campus.
Knowledge is powerful, and QUTV News serves to inform not only the students, but the Quincy University community as a reliable and powerful news network.
Welcome back to our year in review. This next story continues to be one in the making. While many improvements have been made around campus in the last year, students may still be waiting for an improvement to their living space. CUE All Access went around campus to ask students if they are satisfied with their dorms.
I live in the SLC on campus, and from my experience in the past, I've lived in Willer, so living in SLC has been a lot better experience. I like the remodeling of the rooms. Yes, the rooms are smaller, but I still just feel like they're nicer, and I have cleaner area to live. I also enjoy having a kitchen and a living area, which makes me feel more at home.
The SLC is a great building to live in. You have your own kitchen, your own living room. We also have like your own bedroom, so there's roommates, so everyone has their own privacy still. It can be 3 or 2 person, I believe, and I live in a 3-person. And it's really like a nice building. You have air conditioning, heat, washing and drying is on each floor, and it makes it real easy to like get to know your neighbors too, because it's co-ed, so it's not separated, so everyone gets to know each other, and it's a really nice building.
So I live on the 4th floor of PAD. Something I like about PAD is that I get a single room and I'm on my own, so I have some alone time. Something I don't like is the fact that we can't control the heat in there.
Yeah, so I live in Willer, and I guess whenever I first moved in at the beginning of the year, conditions weren't too great at all. I guess maintenance requests weren't really filled at all or put in until the very beginning of the year, so it took a while to get things going. But now that most of them have been filled, it's really not too terrible. Obviously, it's a little outdated, but other than that, it's not bad. It's not a bad place to live.
I stay here at Garner Hall. It's on the north side of campus, and it's a great living community.
So I live in PAD, and for what PAD is, I mean, it's fine. I mean, it's a concrete building when it's a mass dormitory, so for what it is, it's fine. For people who are expecting, you know, glamorous lifestyle, I guess you would say, I mean, I guess they can be disappointed, but, you know, it's got a bathroom, it's got nice, you know, water pressure, they keep it nice and clean, but it is just kind of a bland, concrete building.
CUE All Access weather reporter Lainey Wade now joins us. Lainey, why did you choose this story?
I chose this story because I feel like it posed like a very interesting question. And what that question is does the camera change the opinion of the people? Because, you know, during the fall semester, a lot of problems were going on with the dorms. The washers and dryers didn't work in the Friars Hall. You know, we had the flooding. We had the boil order in Heline. We had a lot of different like struggles. We had the mold in Willer. But then when you go and I went and I asked the students, I said, how satisfied are you with your living dorms? And they all answered pretty positive about it. So I thought that was interesting that they would answer that way after even all the problems they had when it came to it for them to express their opinions. They all said, you know, it is what it is, and it's all right.
You know, it was also very interesting because of all the major improvements that we've seen here on campus. You know, you would think maybe during this story that students would say, okay, what's going to be next? Are the living facilities going to be next? Is that what you expected when you went to talk to them?
You know, I did. I mean, the SLC is fairly new, so I'm not surprised that the girls that lived there and gave their bit were like, okay, everything's fine. But yeah, I mean, a lot of the dorms are a little outdated, and while they are making improvements to certain ones, that is a good question, and I do wonder that, and perhaps that could be a story for next semester.
Absolutely. And our next story comes from us from the CUE TV original program, Hawk Talk. The recent success of the men's baseball team might only be rivaled by the impressive renovations to the North Campus athletic facility.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Jeff Jenkerson. I'm a junior here. I'm part of the Quincy baseball team, and I'm about to give you a nice little tour of the baseball locker room. It's here at North Campus. It's really cool. We're right next to the soccer team. It's Legend Stadium. It's really fun because we're really close to them. It's fun to watch them over here. If you walk into here, I'll show you guys the locker room over here. This is our brand new locker room. We just built it last year, as you can tell. It's really nice. This is where a lot of people build the relationships. This is where a lot of team bonding happens. We got a ping pong table, hockey, nice couches, plasma screens. We got a PS3. We got a nice sound system, and a lot of ping pong gets played here. We also have our very own lockers. Everyone gets one, where you can put your own individual jerseys, all kinds of practice stuff. It's your own little spot. Something that's unique about our locker room is we have our own little JV room. Not everyone has this. They even have their own plasma screen TV in here as well. But it's also really cool because everyone gets one, no matter what. If you bring it over here, we also have a laundry room and a little bit of a kitchen, and then we also have showers back here so you don't have to smell, and yeah, that's about it. Alright, next I'm going to take you to our hitting facility. Dude. Hey guys.
Hey, what's up, Jeff?
Hey. This is just part of the baseball team right here.
Dude, I did it again!
So, before we get there, we got a nice little wall over here that shows all about a whole bunch of alumni. This is really cool. I mean, it shows where Quincy's basically grown. And then over here, we got the Wall of Fame. This is huge. It shows everyone that you can possibly, this is where you want to be. You want to work hard enough and put your name on this wall. And then it all starts right in here. Right in here, we got a huge facility, about 100 feet long and 80 feet wide. And then we can do a whole bunch of things here. We can do a whole bunch of inner squads, take as many swings you want. We do a bunch of fielding here, just anything. It's just really nice to have. Next, we have basically anything you can think of in here. You can't have too much. We have a bunch of baseballs and a bunch of workout stuff. Just anything you can think of, we have it in here. Something else that's really unique that we have is we have this thing right here. This thing right here shows a whole bunch of different views of your swings. For hitters, we have a whole bunch of different views, like center field view. We can take this and watch. And then we also have a side view as well. And hitters can just watch and do whatever they want. This is where we make adjustments. This is where it all begins. And then it's also nice because pitchers can look at their mechanics as well. As you can tell, this is our facility, and it's really nice. We're very fortunate to have it, and this is what CU offers us, and we're blessed to have it. And I'm Jeff Jingerson, and I'm a junior here at Quincy University, and thanks for coming.
Back on the desk with me is my man Adam Longo. Adam, thanks so much for coming back up here. Why did you pick this story?
I chose this story because it allowed the viewers and other students to see what goes on behind the scenes with QU baseball. Typically, we all get to see you guys on the field, and that's about it. So I thought it was good for the viewers to see, where you guys hang out, how you practice, how you train. And I thought it was good. It's always fun to see behind the scenes stuff, so that's why I chose this story.
Did you enjoy doing Hawk Talk with me last semester?
Yeah, us both being athletes here at QU, for us to do a show on sports, it didn't really necessarily feel like work. It was enjoyable because we both had interest in it.
We are going to go a little bit off script here because we got to bring this back. Adam had a little bit of a miscue on Hawk Talk, so Mr. Yates, go ahead and hit that video for us.
Wow.
But we talked about last episode, the senior poise of Nick Lonergan. There's so much going on. We're going to have to stop. Adam, this is a little bit tough.
Adam, I'm sorry. We had to do that to you. I mean.
Hey, I've been hearing it ever since that. It's a running joke. I'm glad we can laugh at it now, but I'm glad it's over for sure.
We don't have to stop right now, though, do we? We're okay?
No, we don't have to stop right now. We can keep going.
Can I keep going?
Yeah, you can keep going.
All right, so we're going to get to our next story. Senior Ian Lawson's life changed with the birth of his son, Finnegan Scott Lawson. Not only was he a student athlete, but he is now a father and a husband. With the birth of his son, senior Ian Lawson has been playing for more than just himself.
On December 16th, 2013, Lawson's life changed for good when his son Finn was born. Lawson was more than a student athlete now.
Thing that always comes to mind whenever I think about playing volleyball now that I have a son, where before I didn't have a son, is when I was little I used to always go to my dad's basketball games, and just being able to see him play. I mean, granted, this is just adult, like men's league basketball, kind of just for yucks, but just kind of being able to see him play once or twice a week was always fun for me. It was a big outing, and I guess just having Finn around to be able to see me play, hopefully one day he remembers it and will cherish that memory.
With his last home game this past weekend, having the support of his son, wife, and parents was something he'll cherish forever.
Having my whole family in the stands during my last home game, also on senior night, was really bittersweet because, yeah, it is my last game in Pepsi Arena at Quincy University, but just having them there and just knowing that they're there supporting me was really great, too.
With time management and multiple schedules to juggle, being a student athlete and father was challenging.
The hardest part about managing not only a full class load, family schedule, and practice and game schedule is just the time management of everything. You know, I have to think not only what am I doing later today, but I have to coordinate my schedule with my wife. So what are we doing on Wednesday or Thursday of this week, and really be planning not only a couple hours ahead, but a couple days and sometimes even weeks if there's big events coming up.
With his senior year coming to an end, his focus is now on his family and future.
Go Hawks!
So we went for a little more serious note there. Obviously, that's a very special story to you, Carly. You actually won a QU Media Award for that story. What made that so special for you?
It made it special for me, one, because I'm friends with the Lawsons. I've known Maggie since the beginning of this year and really got close with the family and Finn as well. I watched him grow up basically all year and just kind of see how he's changed as a little human being, and his personality really has just come out, as you guys saw on the video. But it kind of opens your eyes to what other students are going through, and it's not just, oh, I'm an athlete or I'm a student. A lot of people have a lot of other things going on. So I think that was a great way to kind of show just one of the things that could be happening.
You heard Adam reference it just a minute ago about seeing behind the scenes of what athletes go through. This was a great story. I really enjoyed getting to watch this. Does this kind of go down for you as a reporter as probably one of your favorite stories?
It does for sure, one, because like I said, I have a personal relationship with the family, but also just to kind of, again, bring light to the struggles that other people go through on a daily basis.
Absolutely. And you don't just get to show up to campus, go to class, do your homework, get your grades. That's a typical day for every college student. But some students go above and beyond to enhance not only their college experience, but the lives of those around them. QU All Access reporter Evan Powell covered QU's 28th Annual Leadership Award Ceremony this spring.
Sounds of applause and cheers highlighted the 28th Annual Award Ceremony hosted in the Hall of Fame room. As you can see, members of sororities, fraternities, and residence life enjoyed a night of celebration, but also were aware of its importance.
The Leadership Award Ceremony acknowledges students that don't necessarily get recognition because they're behind the scenes and they're creating events that are for the campus and the community. And then they make a big impact with Quincy University throughout the 4 years that they're here. So it's really important to give them a special night and let them know that we appreciate them just as much as their organizations do.
The Great Man of the Year award goes to Derek Lambert.
QU All Access's own Derek Lambert received a handful of awards, including one that no sophomore has ever achieved before.
Definitely a big Greek person, so I'm excited to see how things keep going. When having won 4 awards from my fraternity, it shows that the guys like me, the guys appreciate what I do, they recognize that I work hard, so that just, shows me that I just need to keep doing that to make us move forward.
For QU All Access News, I'm Evan Powell.
Now joining us is the reporter Evan Powell. Evan, why did you choose that story? What stood out to you?
Well, what stood out to me first off was it was kind of cool to see our own Derek Lambert getting all those awards.
Absolutely.
It's pretty cool. One thing I really liked about it, this is the very first Greek life event I've been to.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I noticed was that you could see how good of friendships were developed between different fraternities and sororities, and I thought it was just cool how tight-knit community it really was for all of them.
We got to give Derek a little bit of gruff, though, because he's back there behind the camera right now just laughing. He's patting himself on the back. Evan, obviously this was a great semester, and to cap it off with that award ceremony, it was probably pretty cool for you to be there.
Yeah, it was. Also, personally, I thought it was one of my best packages I had all year.
Mm-hmm.
And it just was a cool event because I was there and like I wasn't a part of Greek life, but I really enjoyed being there too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Derek, we're just giving you a hard time, man. Thank you, Evan. Thanks for joining us. And that's going to do it for this QU All Access Year in Review. Thank you for joining us in this year's QU All Access Year in Review. They must have been messing with me on the prompter. Remember to tune in online on Facebook or on Channel 97 on campus for more news anytime. For the entire QU All Access team and for the final time, I'm Ryan Snyder. Fly high, Hawks.